I'm making brine right now. I've got a big pot. See, there's a big pot. Hi. And I've got a cup of salt and a pack of poultry seasoning, which is sage, rosemary, and thyme, and about 3 tablespoons of Bell's seasoning. And I don't know, like, 6 or 8 cups of water, something like that. And then I've got a frozen turkey. And I'm going to bring this brine to a boil over here. Bring it to a boil, let it boil for, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes and kind of become a green sludge with all the salt boiled down. And then I'm putting the turkey in, filling it with cold water and letting it sit overnight. It's been boiling for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Actually, I had to go upstairs and reboot the Wi-Fi. So it's about as long as that takes to kind of leave, go reboot the Wi-Fi, get everything all set up. And you can see what I've got is, oh, sorry, it's foggy. You know, the herbs have cooked down. It's an extremely salty, seasoned bit of hot water. So turn it off. I'm gonna carry this over to the sink. It's not super hot, so I can lift it up. And then I'm just gonna put in tons of cold water before I do anything else, so that when I put the bird in, it doesn't start cooking. Okay, so it's about half full, and the water is like room temp at this point. And here's the frozen turkey, like literally completely frozen. All I've done is take it out of the plastic. It's pretty heavy, but I'm just gonna plop it in. And you want it to be fully submerged. So some people will like put a brick on top of it or a rock or something. Lots of different ways to go about that. I'm gonna go get a rock or a brick because I literally have those right outside the door. And I'll be back. All right, I got a brick. Now the brick is in. But this weighs a lot. It's like a big, I don't know, this is probably a 6-gallon pot, something like that. And you can see the rosemary's floating and the sage. I need the lid, which is here. This is our kitchen. Jonathan built that. Isn't that amazing? And here he comes. Say hi.
Hello. Bonjour.
And where do you want to put it? We can leave it in the sink for now, but it's got to go somewhere overnight. I will say that because it's a frozen solid turkey, that probably, here we both are, because it's frozen solid, if it were me, I'd just leave it in the sink overnight, which I might just do. And in the morning, it'll be ready. You can pull out the giblets and you can pull out the neck.
You can move it from there to there.
And yeah, he moved it over to this side of the sink. And then it's all seasoned. Like all those things are really, really well seasoned now, and you can boil them down with some more, you know, even just water, and then use that.
Season? Like all season tires?
To you can use it as extra if you need it for the gravy.
It's not too salty?
No, I do it every time. It's not too salty, I promise. Love you. Bye. Okay, pulling it out. So there's the brick. It's been sitting all night in this water, and it's defrosted now. Feels great, actually. Still a little icy in the center. So what I'm gonna do is, now you can actually pull out. These are the giblets. They are also perfectly brined right now. This has the liver, the heart, and the kidneys. I don't like to use the liver. I don't like the strong blood and iron taste that it imparts, but I will use the heart and the neck and the kidneys, and I will boil them down with some more of the Bell's poultry seasoning, if you have any dry herbs to throw in there as well. And then it makes a really nice stock if you need it. It's turkey stock. And I use it sometimes for the stuffing and for the gravy later. It just gives you a little backup chicken stock, or turkey stock rather, that you don't have to buy. So there's that. And then this end, you can see that has the neck in there. So I'm gonna start rinsing it and running some sort of tepid room temp water, lukewarm-ish, down through the bird. You want to be able to rinse all the way through and pull out the neck. There's also a big fat claw sometimes inside. The neck just came loose. That's the big fat glob. I will actually probably cook with this in the pan because it gives off a really nice bit of flavor to the gravy. And out comes the neck. Oh, sort of. Okay, so there's the neck. And, you know, there's definitely still some ice crystals down in there, which actually should make all of you that were worried about this chicken or the turkey sitting out overnight feel better, because there's still some in the very, very center that was frozen. So that's it. Just one sec. It goes into this. This is my pan that I use. It's a pretty old cook pan, and it's not much bigger than the turkey, and it's pre-sprayed with spray pan. Okay, it's in the pan, just rinsed, and all the gizzards and the neck are out of it. So I first take my Bell's poultry seasoning, put a little inside, shake it down into the cavity. Then I have pre-chopped onion, celery, and I've got rosemary, sage, and thyme. So I'm gonna do a little of the herbs down in the body first. And then the celery and the onions. And they're chopped up pretty small. They're not gonna act like stuffing in the bird. They're gonna act like vegetables that add flavor and moisture. Which is nice because I don't like to put bread in the bird to cook it. You do decide to do that, and a lot of people do that. You have to cook it about 30 minutes longer, just as a heads up. It slows down the cooking rate. So anyway, all right, those are in. And goes the rest of these herbs into the pan. Then I have 1 stick of melted butter that I pour over the whole top. And I use salted melted butter, which I really like. I'm gonna place the onion. I do a little bit more Bell's on top, just a little. Kind of helps with the color. And even though it's been brined, I will give the skin on top just a shake of salt. We don't eat the skin anyway, but a lot of people do. Okay, and then I add a little stock around in the bottom. It helps with making sure you've got enough moisture for a nice gravy, and I find it makes it so the bird doesn't stick as much. And literally that's it. So I'll cover it in foil. My oven has been preheated to 500, and I've taken all the racks out except the bottom. So make sure you put it in legs first, which we're at this end. They go in the back of the oven. Like that. Now, if your oven is too short for you to be able to put the bird in legs first, do it diagonally so that the legs are as much toward the back as possible, and halfway through, switch it. And then you'll catch both legs in the back. So 10 minutes on my timer, and I'm gonna move the bird around and then set it for another 1 hour. And then at the end of that 1 hour and 10 minutes at 500, I will take the foil off and do it for like an extra 20-ish or 30 minutes to give the top a golden brown. That's it. The timer's gone off, and so we're ready to pull the bird out of the oven. It has been a total of, let's see, 130, no, I did 10 minutes and then another hour and then another 20. So 130 total, hour and a half completely in the oven. And you can see really lovely pan juices. All of the veggie are still right there, so you can pull those out. You can either blend them into your pan drippings for your gravy. It's a good thickener, especially if you're gluten-free. You can serve them on the side. You could do some of both. So what I'm gonna do now is let's wiggle a couple of legs. See how much those wiggle around? That is a really good indicator of doneness, but the number one thing you have to do is test the temperature. You never wanna eat any poultry without making sure it's all the way done. So the area you wanna put it in is right next to the thigh. And 165 is what you're looking for, or maybe a little higher. That one looks like it's registering 180, which is perfect. Jonathan's tip is to move it around. and make sure it registers where it's supposed to everywhere. Oh yeah, that says 190 in that area. He thinks there's some areas of the bird that might be colder than others. Yeah, look at that, it's dropping back. That gentleman farmer, he's so smart. That still says 180 though. So since we're looking for 165, I think we're pretty confident that we're good. And the bird is done. She has a beautiful crispy skin on the outside that she only got that after we uncovered her for the last 20 minutes. So I'm gonna let this rest for 10 or 15 minutes and then make some gravy.